most haunted libraries, sometimes the table itself starts to get involved and shake. Is there any logical explanation for what happens?
There are many kind of theories why a Ouija board works and why a table moves. One of them, of course, is subconscious movement, involuntary movement of the planchette. Your mind playing tricks on you and actually moving the planchette subconsciously. But having said that, the Ouija board is a powerful kind of tool, and there have been incidents where people have actually gone on to kill people, murder people, through messages from Ouija boards.
Okay, let's turn to that side of it then, Fred, which Brian has already hinted at and Phil has reinforced. The idea that it may be some kind of portal to allow dark forces through. People should be very careful, shouldn't they?
They should be very careful. I mean, when you think, up to 30 years ago, it was advertised as a game for 8-year-olds and up. And obviously that's changed now. But yeah, it can be very deceptive. I mean, Satan could come through a Ouija board and deceive the person doing it into thinking they're harmless, they're a friendly spirit, and everything else. And I mean, I've got a quote here from the Bible. It says, "And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. It is not surprising then if his servants masquerade as servants of righteousness. Their end will be what their actions deserve."
So handle with care. Thank you for the moment, gentlemen. Well, Yvette Fielding and the team are at the scene of tonight's vigil. You're going to find out a bit more about it now. I warn you, some of what you're about to see is very disturbing indeed. This is where Yvette Fielding is conducting the vigil tonight.
Cruelty, imprisonment, death. This imposing hall has witnessed the actions of one very evil man. Unusually, this building has passed through the female bloodline of one family for many years, perhaps an ironic revenge of fate for the treatment given out by one lord to his wife. This tale tells of a lord who treated his wife with disdain and meted out a cruel punishment. She was taken to a small chamber at the top of the tower and locked in by her evil husband. He imprisoned her there alone whilst he travelled overseas. Trapped in this confined space, she was confused, terrified, her hands grasping out for help and release. The Lord eventually returned to find the remnants of his wife's body. She had starved to death, a skeleton. Men be warned when entering here. Her ghost may be an angry ghost, seeking out revenge. One area of the building is intended to provide visitors with a welcome night's rest. However, one particular evening, witnesses recount being suddenly woken from their sleep by the screams of a lady just outside their bedrooms. Upon investigation, no women were even in the building. Is the spirit of the tragic lady who met her cruel, untimely death in the tower seeking revenge against her evil husband? Is his spirit torturing her still within the dark mansion? Will either of them be revealed as tonight's threatening face of evil?
So that is the scene of tonight's vigil. Ashton Hall, just outside Lancaster, in Lancashire, of course. Yvette Fielding and the team are there already. But one team member visited the place yesterday, Brian Shepherd, our medium and psychic artist, and this is what he sensed.
We've arrived at this quite magnificent hall. And it's funny, as when I walked up to the place, something said to me, a jail, which, okay, is apparently not true. But I just can't escape thinking along those lines. There's more to this place than first meets the eye, and I think we should go off and look further. Well, we've come up on the top of the, on a roof here. This person I'm picking up, if you like, the person who's incarcerated, I'm feeling more and more. I see a woman locked up for a long, long time by a very powerful man. Just feeling an awful jealousy and rage coming through now. And I feel that was probably, at the root of this. It was the problem. But what a thing to do, to lock her up and just walk away. I'm going to be honest, I've got to get out of here. Seriously, I've got to get out of here.
We have been with you for 1 hour. We are with you live until midnight, and the vigil is about to commence. Let's go now live to Ashton Hall and Yvette Fielding.
Well, I have to say, Paul, this is a little bit strange for the beginning of Most Haunted. We've all split up. I'm down here in the basement of this amazing building. It's sort of this huge, I would put it sort of, it looks like a church really, sort of these huge archways going into the building, and each door has a huge sort of Gothic church archway. It has a real atmosphere to it, and a lot of the investigation team when we first arrived were feeling well, very apprehensive. So we've decided to split up. I'm down here in what's called the basement, and I'm here with Chris on camera. We've also got our lovely Nick. We have Matt on sound, and lurking in the background there is Robin as well. You just see Robin there, Chris. Okay, and this is it. Now we also have Carl and Stuart. I think they're in a dining room area just on the upper floor. Kath and Chris Conway are in a corridor just up towards the top of what's called a turreted area, and then Kieran and Simon are right up in the turreted area as well. Now Kieran's the only person who's going to speak to me via walkie-talkie, but he's going to be listening to all the groups and see what goes on. So I'll start off by down here in the basement. I only know a little bit of the history, a tiny bit of the story that's gone on in this amazing place. It is, I have to say, one of the biggest places I think we've ever investigated, so hence that's another reason why we've split up. We've locked everywhere down, security's outside, we're all inside, we know where everybody is, so hopefully we're going to get some activity. A little bit apprehensive walking around here, I have to say. And I'll get to the middle here, and then I'll do a bit of a call out, yeah? And see what happens. Oh, there's something about long corridors I don't like. None of these doors open, I don't think. Oh, hang on, where does that go? Is that open? It goes outside, isn't it? It goes outside. Yeah, it was. Look, there's white cables. Let me just check and see if these doors open. Right, that goes outside, that way there. Okay, so just getting the lay of the land here. And I'm going to call out. Okay, watch yourself as you walk back there. Everybody all right? Watch yourself. Okay. Okay. Is there anybody here? Are there any spirit people here in this place? Are there any spirit people here in this house? Please come towards us now. Make a noise with your voice. Touch one of us or move an object.
Can you feel the draft? Yes.
Well, there's a draft there because the doors, but is it coming from
down there?
Okay, let me just... No, they're locked. There's some changing rooms further on down there. Let's go and see what they're about. How are you feeling, Matt? Yeah.
Well, I want to be...
What? Want to be what? Apprehensive? Yeah. How are you feeling, Chris?
I've got great expectations of tonight. I've took my talk back out just so I can get into it and hear what's here.
I have
So,
too.
fingers crossed.
And
Kieran to Yvette.
hi, Kieran.
Hi, Yvette.
We've had a number of things happen on two of the groups. Carl and Stuart are actually reporting a chair moving some distance in front of them, and Kath and Chris, who are upstairs, have reported singing constantly.
Fantastic. Nothing down here to report at all as yet. I'm going to just check out the changing rooms down in the basement. Okay, so brilliant. That's a great start. Okay.